Hello everyone! Welcome po ulit sa ating Matisip YouTube channel where you can find free Tagalog mathematics tutorial. Our topic for today is all about linear equation in one variable. But before we begin, let me just remind everyone to please click the subscribe button pag hindi pa po tayo nakakapag-subscribe. And to those who have already subscribed, thank you very much for sharing also our videos to others, especially to our dear teachers. Thank you for sharing this to our dear learners. So without further ado, let's now begin with our lesson. Alright, our competency for today is to solve linear equations in one variable. Alright, so let's begin with a recall. So remember, we already learned about algebraic expressions in grade 7. So remember, algebraic expression is a combination of variables, constants, and operations. So we have here the examples. We have x plus 3 where we have the variables x and yung constant 3. We also have here x minus y where we have variables only and the operation subtraction. Meron din po tayong xy which means x times y. So it is still an algebraic expression. Meron din pong 2x plus y wherein we have now multiplication and addition, meaning 2 times x and then plus y. We also have here x over y, which means x divided by y. And then we have here exponents. We have a squared plus b squared, meaning a times a and then b times b. Okay, so if we're going to add it, it will be a squared plus b squared. And we also have here expressions like 1 plus 3, and then we have 4 plus negative 6. Well, these are just what we call numerical expressions. But are they algebraic expressions? Hindi po. Ang algebraic expressions, it should have variables, constants, and operations. Okay, let's have equation. Ano naman po ang ibig sabihin ng equation? Okay, remember, equation is a mathematical statement that shows the two expressions are equal. Okay, that's why we have the word equation coming from the root word equal. So just like in a balance scale wherein one side will be equal to another side if they have the same weight. Just like for example here, pag equal sila, we have here x plus 3 and then we have here 5. Dapat yung value dito sa left side parehas din dito sa right side. Okay? Para matawag natin silang equation. Well, here we have an unknown value which is x. Remember, variable is unknown. We do not know the value. But whatever the value is, ano man po yung value ng x dito, it will make the statement true still kasi equation siya. Okay? Okay, so ibig sabihin, whatever the value of x here, it will make the statement equal. So paano po natin malalaman yung value ng x? Dito na po papasok yung solving equation that we also have learned before. So when we solve equation, it means finding the value of the unknown that makes the equation true. Halimbawa, kanina we have here x plus 3 is equal to 5. How are we going to get the value of x? Well, x here is something that will make the statement true. So, what will you add to 3 para maging 5? So, it will be positive 2. Okay? Therefore, we have now 2 plus 3 is 5. So, 5 is equal to 5. The statement is now true. Ang tawag na po natin sa value ng x na yan ay solution. Yun po yung tinatawag nating solution sa equation. Alright? Now, let's have the properties of equality because this is also very important. Okay, pag nagsusolve na po tayo ng equation, magagamit po natin ang mga ito. So, remember, we have the first one. We have the reflexive property of equality which states that A is equal to A. Ibig sabihin, just like in a mirror, if you face the mirror, you will see your own reflection. Okay, yun po ang ibig sabihin ng reflexive property of equality. Okay, next one, we also have here symmetric property of equality, which states that if A is equal to B, then B is now equal to A. Okay, ano pong nangyari? It's just like a symmetrical figure. Like for example here, the left side is symmetrical to the right side of a butterfly. So if A is equal to B, kung babaliktarin mo, B is equal to A. Next, we also have here transitive property of equality. If A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. Okay, katulad po dito sa ating example dito, we have here 3 boys with their height. If boy A and boy B has the same height, if they have the same height, and B have the same height with C, boy C, ibig sabihin boy A and boy C also have the same height. Okay, that is the meaning of transitive property of equality. Another property is the addition and subtraction property of equality. Okay, so here, some of the books, they just use addition property of equality. But Actually, we can use subtraction property of equality. Although they are almost the same, pero meron din pong pagkakaiba. Halimbawa dito, we have here if A is equal to B, then A plus C is equal to B plus C. Whatever we add on the left side of the equation, nag-add tayo ng C, yun din po ang i-add natin sa right side. Now, whatever we subtract on the left side of the equation, just like this, A minus C, ganun din po yung isusubtract natin sa right side. So, B minus C as well. So, yun po yung addition. Itong nag-add tayo ng C, and then subtraction, ito po yung nag-subtract tayo ng C or any value. Alright, next, parang illustration lang po natin is parang kumbaga sa isang seesaw, if we have one person on the left side and then one person on the right side, pag nagdagdag ka ng isa pang person sa left, dapat magdagdag ka rin ng isa pa sa right para maging balance sila. Okay, what else? We also have here multiplication and division of property of equality, wherein if we have here A is equal to B, then A times C is equal to B times C. Ibig sabihin, whatever we multiply on the left side, it should also be multiplied on the right side. And ganun din po sa division. If A is divided by C, then B is also divided by C. Same lang din po ang i-divide natin. Okay? Pang-divide natin sa both sides. Just like here, okay, pag nag-multiply tayo, kapag nag-times 2 yung tao sa left side, times 2 din po dito sa right side. Okay? So, those are the properties of equality that we are going to use in solving linear equations. Okay, so again, if you haven't mastered these skills, you can actually go back to our previous videos. This is found in the grade 7 playlist on algebraic equations. Like for example, solving equations using the bar model, properties of equality, solving equations using properties of equality, and solving problems involving algebraic equations. You can always go back to this if you want to recall or review your lessons in grade 7. Okay, so focus na po tayo dito sa linear equation in one variable. So what is this? A linear equation in one variable is an equation that can be written in the form ax plus b is equal to c. Okay, wherein a and b and c are real numbers. Okay, and a should not be equal to 0. I repeat, we have here a, b, and c. These are all real numbers. And yung variable lang natin dito is variable x. Isa lang po ang variable natin. Okay? And one more thing, a, the first coefficient should not be equal to 0. Okay? Yun po ang form ng linear equation in one variable. Let us have examples. Halimbawa, we have here 3x plus 5 is equal to 11. So is this in the form ax plus b is equal to c? Yes, because we have here the variable x. And then ano po ang value ng a natin? We have here 3. And then 5 as our b, and then 11 as our c. So they are all real numbers. Hindi naman po 0 yung ating first coefficient. Ano pa? We also have here 7x minus 4 is equal to 10. So the only variable here is also x. We have the a, which is 7, b, which is negative 4, and then c, which is 10. So not necessarily exactly ganito yung itsura niya. Hindi porket plus ito is hindi na natin i-consider yung minus na examples natin. No. Actually, we can also have this example. We have here x plus 2 is equal to 6. So ang value ng c natin is 6. Ang value ng b is 2. But you might be questioning, we might be asking, ano po ang a natin? So here, we don't have a number before x, but we know that if it is not written, ang ibig sabihin niyan, merong 1 dito sa ating coefficient. So our a is equal to 1. Ano pa po? We also have here 5x is equal to negative 20. So negative 20 here is c, no? Asan po yung b? Wala naman pong ibang number dito or constant. Well, we can say that b is equal to 0 kasi wala siya dito. Okay? And if we're going to add 0 here, it will be the same. Now, what will be our a? It is 5. Okay? And remember, a should not be equal to 0. Pwede yung b ang 0, pwede yung c ang 0, except for the first coefficient. Okay? Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng linear equation in one variable, and it can be written in this form. Ax plus b is equal to c. Okay, just some additional notes. Okay, mga example ng hindi linear equation in one variable. So, no variable in a linear equation is raised to a power greater than 1 or used as the denominator of a fraction or inside a radical. So, take note, pag sinabi nating linear, ang kanyang exponent lang or ang kanyang power ay dapat 1 lang, hindi tataas sa 1. So, examples we have here, x squared plus 1 is equal to 5. This is not a linear equation. Why? Because the exponent here, or the power, the degree, is 2, not 1. What else we have here? X raised to 3 is equal to 12. Okay? This exponent is not 1. So, therefore, this is not a linear equation. Ano pa po? We have here 4 over x is equal to 3. This is also not a linear equation because the variable x is in the denominator. Hindi po pwede yun. Okay? In our linear equation, no, ang ating variable lang ay nasa numerator if it is in a fraction form. Okay, what else? We also have here the square root of x plus 2 is equal to 5. This is not also a linear equation because the variable x is inside the radical. Okay, hindi po pwedeng ganon. Alright, so there you go. Those are examples of not linear equations. Okay, for you to practice, I have here an exercise. You can pause this video if you want to answer this on your own. Determine whether each of the following equations is a linear equation in one variable. Write linear if it is and not linear if it is not. I'll give you time to do this, and then later you can play this and then I'll give you the correct answers. Okay, I hope you are now ready. Let's now find out the correct answer. Let's have here number 1, 2x plus 3 is equal to 7. This is a linear equation because the variable has exponent 1. Number 2, 4x squared minus 3 is equal to 9. This is not a linear equation because the variable is raised to 2. Next, it's also not a linear equation because the variable is in the denominator. Number 4, we have here 7x minus 2 equals 12. This is linear equation. The power of the exponent, the power of x is 1. Number 5, we have here 6x plus 4 is equal to 2x plus 16. This is still a linear equation because the variable to the first power on both sides pa rin. Next, we have here number 6. This is not a linear equation because the variable is under a radical symbol. Next, 9 minus 3x is equal to 0. This is linear equation because the exponent of x here is still 1. Okay, kahit na yung c ay 0, okay lang po yun. Next, we have here 5x cubed is equal to 10. This is not a linear because the exponent is 3. Next one, we have here 2 times x plus 1 is equal to 6. This is linear equation. This can be simplified as 2x plus 2 is equal to 6 by distributing 2. Multiply natin kay x, magiging 2x. 2 times 1, magiging 2. And then lastly, this is also a linear equation because although we have here a fraction, pero yung variable natin wala naman sa denominator. So the fraction 1/2 here serves as the numerical coefficient for our variable x. Okay? So there you go. I hope nasagot nyo po ng tama. Okay, now let's proceed to solving linear equation in one variable. This time, we will do one-step and two-step equations muna. Okay, let's have the first example we have here. X minus 6 is equal to 10. Okay, so yung goal natin is to find the value of x, meaning x dapat ang nandito sa left side and then the other side will be the value of x. So how are we going to do that? Since we have here negative 6, ang gagawin muna natin is tatanggalin natin si negative 6 dito para ang maiwan lang is si variable x. And how are we going to do that? We are going to find the additive inverse of our constant negative 6. Pag sinabing additive inverse, it's the opposite. If it is negative 6, the additive inverse is positive 6. So in short, we're going to add positive 6 para matanggal po ito. Why? Because negative 6 plus positive 6 will be 0. Matatanggal yan at maiiwan na lang si x sa left side. And remember, in our property kanina, we made mention that if we're going to add something on the left side, ganun din po ang i-add natin sa right side. So, mag-add tayo ng plus 6 dito sa kabila. Therefore, okay, mamaya magiging 16 na po ito. Okay, ito po yung addition property of equality natin or yung tinatawag nating APE. Okay, so we have now here x is equal to 16. Okay, using the APE. Alright, if you want to check, you can do this. I-substitute lang po natin yung value na nakuha natin sa original equation, which is x minus 6 is equal to 10. So since our x is 16, we just substitute it here in our original equation. X will now be 16. And if we're going to subtract 6, will it be the same with the other side? So let's find out. 16 minus 6 is 10. Yes, it is equal. 10 is equal to 10. This is the value of x that makes the equation true. Kaya we can conclude that our answer is correct. Okay, x is equal to 16. Okay, let's have another example. We have here another one-step equation example. X plus 4 is equal to 7. So, ano ulit gagawin natin para matanggal si 4 dito? We are going to find out the additive inverse. Ano po ang additive inverse ng positive 4? It is negative 4. Meaning, we just subtract it by itself. Alright, subtract natin siya. So, 4 minus 4 will be 0. Okay, matatanggal si 4 dyan. So, since nag-subtract tayo dito, mag-subtract din tayo sa right side. So, 7 minus 4 will be 3. Okay, ang tawag natin sa property na ito, hindi na po siya addition property. We can call it the subtraction property of equality. However, okay, we can also use the addition property of equality. Paano? We can use APE by adding the additive inverse. Okay, so which is negative 4. Para ka lang nagsusubtract ng 4, but this time you add negative 4. So 4 plus negative 4, okay, ganun din sa kabila, it will make this 0. Okay, so x will be 3 because 7 plus negative 4 is positive 3. Okay, so the bottom line here is we can use the subtraction property of equality, or we can also use the addition property of equality. Either of the two, no? Kung ano pong mas madali sa inyo, you can use both. So we have here x plus 4 is equal to 7. I-check lang natin kung ang x natin ay 3, will it be equal? So 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So our answer is correct. Okay, next we have here another equation. We have 5x is equal to 20. Okay, so we have 5x is equal to 20. Ang goal natin, separate natin si x dito sa left side. Meron siyang kasamang 5, which is the numerical coefficient. How are we going to remove 5 here? So we can use this method. We can just divide it by 5. Okay, 5 divided by 5 para maging 1 po siya. Okay, 5 divided by 5 is 1 at ang may iwan na lang is yung x natin. Okay, and then sa kabilang side, kung nag-divide tayo ng 5, dito sa left side, magdi-divide din tayo dito. So, 20 divided by 5 is 4. Yun na po yung division property of equality. Okay, so the answer is x is equal to 4. Or, we can also use the other method, which is using the multiplication property of equality by its multiplicative inverse. Ibig sabihin, ano ba ang kabaliktaran ng 5? When it comes to multiplicative inverse, kung 5, ang denominator niya is 1, ang kabaliktaran naman niya is 1 over 5. So, i-multiply lang natin yung reciprocal. Ito po yung tinatawag nating reciprocal. Okay? So, kung si 5, ang denominator niya ay 1, yung reciprocal naman niya is babaliktarin lang natin. Ang numerator is 1, denominator is 5. If we multiply it here on one side, we multiply it also on the other side. Okay? So, therefore, 1/5 times 5, magiging 5 over 5 po yan. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 1 sa denominator ni 5 ay 5. Ganun din dito, 20 times 1 is 20. And then, we are going to divide it by 5 later on. So, 5x over 5, we can cancel out 5 here. Ang may iwan is x. 20 divided by 5, the answer will be 4. So, parehas lang po sila. So, kahit ano po ang gamitin nyo dito, okay lang. We can use the division property or the multiplication property of equality. Depende po sa preference ninyo. Okay, let's check if the answer is correct. Since our x here is 4, let's substitute in the original equation. We have here 5x is equal to 20. Gagawin nating 4 si x. So, 5 times 4 is 20. So, 20 is equal to 20. Therefore, our answer is correct. Okay, next example, this time two-step equation naman tayo. Since we have here 2x plus 2 is equal to 16, hindi lang po isa ang step na gagawin natin, dalawa po, no? So first, how are we going to remove the constant 2 here para maiwan lang is si x, okay? Or si 2x muna, no? So ang gagawin natin is we will be using the subtraction property of equality. 2 minus 2 will be 0. So since nag-subtract tayo ng 2 dito, mag-subtract din tayo sa right side. Okay, next one, we will now have the multiplication or division property of equality. Why? Because we now have 2x is equal to 14 kasi 16 minus 2 is 14. How are we going to remove 2? We will divide it by itself. Okay, so 2 divided by 2 will be 1. Okay, ang maiiwan na lang is x. So 14 divided by 2 naman sa kabila, whatever we divide on the left side, ganun din sa right side. So 14 divided by 2 will be 7. X is equal to 7. Okay, we can check the answer by substituting. So we have here 2x plus 2 is equal to 16 in our original equation. Since our x is 7, let's substitute. So 2, magiging 7 yung x natin dyan. 2 times 7 will be 14 plus 2. Will it be 16? Yes. Okay. Our answer is correct. Okay, let's now have example number 5. So again, another two-step equation po ito. Hindi lang isang property ang gagamitin natin. So we have here 1/4 x minus 5 is equal to 1. So ano pong unahin nating tanggalin? Si 1/4 ba or si negative 5? Okay, ang mas madali is si negative 5. So we can use the addition property of equality. Okay, so para matanggal si negative 5, we are going to add the additive inverse which is positive 5 para maging 0 po yan. So nag-add tayo sa left side, mag-add din tayo sa right side. So 1 plus 5 now here on the right side will be 6. Okay, tanggal na po si negative 5. Now we only have 1/4 x is equal to 6. We can now remove yung ating coefficient which is 1/4. So how do we do that? We can use the multiplication property of equality, or we can multiply 1/4 by its multiplicative inverse or yung kanyang reciprocal which is 4/1. Or if you want to make it simpler, you can just multiply it by 4 kasi 1 naman po ang numerator nito. Okay, and then pag binaliktad natin 4/1, it's the same with 4. So 4 times 1/4, we also have to multiply sa kabila. 6 times 4 din po dito. So now we have 4 times 1 divided by 4. So it's 4/4x. Okay, or 4x over 4. Ito naman po, 6 times 4 is 24. So we can cancel out this one. 4/4 is 1. Maiwan na lang si x dito. So we have here x is equal to 24. Therefore, our answer is x is equal to 24. Let's check if this is correct. No? So let us substitute dito sa original equation. So 1/4 times x which is 24 minus 5 is equal to 1. So 1/4 times 24 is 24 divided by 4. Minus 5 is equal to 1. 24 divided by 4 is 6 minus 5. Is it going to be equal to 1? Yes. Okay, 1 is equal to 1. Alright. Therefore, our answer 24 is correct. Okay, now this time, let's proceed to the next part of our lesson, still on solving linear equation in one variable, but this time, let's have multi-step equations. I-level up naman natin yung mga examples natin for grade 8 students. So we have here example number 1. As you can see, we have here a longer, maybe more complicated, more complex equations. However, madali lang po ito as long as we know the properties. Kaya po tinawag na multi-step equations kasi hindi lang isa or dalawa yung step na gagawin natin. Pwedeng 3 or more. And we can use 3 or more properties as well. So we have here the first one, 2x minus 8. And then equal siya sa 2 times 3x plus 4. As you can see, we have variables x here. Although dalawa yung variable x natin dito, still this is considered one variable because we only have here one type of variable which is x. Okay? So now we have to use the distributive property of equality. Okay? Wherein, i-distribute natin by multiplying 2 dito sa ating expression sa loob ng parenthesis. So unahin natin si 2 times x muna. It will be 2x. 2 next is distributed to negative 8. So 2 times negative 8, it will be negative 16. Ganun din po dito sa kabilang side. 2 times 3x will be 6x. And then 2 times 4 will be positive 8. Okay, there you go. Na-distribute na po natin. Wala nang parenthesis. This time, we are now going to use the addition and subtraction property of equality. Okay, by segregate natin or ilipat natin yung mga variables sa isang side and then sa isang sides naman yung mga constant. Okay, so we have here 2x. Kailangan nating matanggal si negative 16 dito. Okay, para ang mapuntahan niya is dito sa left side. Parang ililipat lang natin. So we use addition, property of equality. Negative 16 plus 16. Okay, magiging 0 na yan. And then mag-add din tayo syempre dito sa kabila. Okay, next one. We now use subtraction property of equality by removing yung 6x naman dito sa right side. So, 6x minus itself 6x para maging 0. Okay? At since nag-minus 6x tayo dito sa right side, magma-minus 6x din tayo dito sa left side. Therefore, we can now add similar terms. We have here 2x minus 6x. Okay, it will be negative 4x. While here we have here constant 8 plus constant 16, it will give you 24. Okay, now ano pong gagawin natin pag meron na tayong numerical coefficient beside x? We can now use the division property of equality, or we can even use the multiplication property of equality. So in this demonstration, I will just use the division by just dividing it by itself. So negative 4 divided by itself, negative 4. And then sa kabila naman, ganun pa rin ang gagawin. 24 divided by negative 24. X will now be equal to negative 6 because positive divided by negative is negative. Okay, the final answer is x is equal to negative 6. You can actually check this by substituting itong ating value ng x dun sa original formula. And if it is the same, pag equal pa rin siya sa dulo, then this is the correct answer. Okay, next example, we have here 8 is equal to 2/3 x minus 2. So if you notice, we have here the variable x on the right side of the equation. So if you don't like this, if you don't want to operate like this, you can actually move yung variable nating x doon sa kabila, okay, or sa left side. To do that, we can actually use the symmetric property of equality. Pwede nating i-flip or baliktarin lang natin ito. Yung 8 mapupunta sa right side and lahat ito 2/3 x minus 2 mapupunta sa left side. So there you go. We now have here the new orientation. 2/3 x minus 2 is equal to 8. Next, what are we going to do next? We can use the addition property of equality to remove yung negative 2 dito at ang maiwan lang is yung variable x. Okay, so we can add 2 to make it 0. Since nag-add tayo ng 2 dito, mag-add din tayo sa kabila. So this will now be, ang naiwan na lang dito is 2/3 x. Okay, wala na po itong dalawang to. Tanggal na po siya. Cancelled out. And then we have here 8 plus 2, magiging 10 na po siya. Now, how are we going to get the value of x only? Paano natin tatanggalin si 2/3? We can now use the multiplication property of equality by multiplying the multiplicative inverse. Okay? So, here we have 2/3. Ang reciprocal niya is 3/2. Or yung kabaligtaran niya. Yun po ang i-multiply natin. So, pag nag-multiply tayo dito, multiply din tayo sa right side. So, 3/2 times 2/3. Pag pinag-multiply natin yan, 3 times 2 and then 2 times 3, it will be 6/6. Dito naman, 10 times 3 is 30 divided by 2. It will be like this, 30/2. Okay, we can now simplify this. We can now cancel out yung 6 tsaka 6 dito. Kaya magiging 1 na po siya. So, x will now be 30 divided by 2 is 15. Okay, ito na po yung ating final answer. So, we have here a multi-step equation. Okay, we have here example number 3. As you can see, we have the numerator here, x plus 4. And then here, the numerator is also an expression, algebraic expression, which is 3x minus 5. So, ano ang gagawin natin? Para ma-solve natin yung variable x, dalawa po yung x natin dyan. So, first, we can use the cross multiplication method. Okay, wherein we multiply the numerator to the denominator and the denominator to the numerator of the second expression. Okay, so to do that, we have here x plus 4 times 4. Yan po ang magiging itsura niya. And then 2 times 3x minus 5, doon din po sa right side. Okay, so again, yung nasa left side natin is itong unang numerator minultiply sa denominator nung pangalawang expression. So now, to simplify this, we need to distribute using the distributive property of equality. So 4 times x will be 4x, okay, and then 4 times 4 will be 16. Okay, on the other side, we have 2 times 3x, it will be 6x. And then 2 times negative 5, it will be negative 10. Now here, para nasa isang side lang yung mga variable natin, we will be using the subtraction property of equality. So we will subtract 16 para malipat siya dito sa kabila or matanggal siya dito sa isang side. 16 minus 16, ganun din dito, mag-minus 16 din tayo. So 16 minus 16 is 0. Okay, dito naman, pwede na nating i-operate tong dalawang constant. Now, meron pa tayong 6x dito sa right side. So in order for us to remove 6x here and ita-transfer natin sa left side, we also need to subtract. Okay, so 6x minus 6x magiging 0 yan. So magsusubtract din tayo ng 6x dito. So we have now here 4x minus 6x. If you're going to operate this, 4 minus 6 will be negative 2. And then we just copy x. Then here on the right side, negative 10 minus 16 will be negative 26. Okay, at this point, since we have here a negative expression, negative 2x, okay, hindi po pwedeng ganyan sa ating answer. Hindi pwedeng ang value ng x ay, yung variable x ay negative. So ang gagawin natin para matanggal yung negative dyan, we can actually multiply the whole equation by negative 1. Okay, we can do that para maging positive lahat. But pwede rin naman na idiretso na natin using the division property of equality, wherein we are going to divide both sides by negative 2. Okay? Para ito, magiging 1 na siya. And then si negative 26 divided by negative 2, it will now be positive 13. So again, we can use multiplication or the division property of equality. Okay? So our final answer is x is equal to 13. Okay, for example number 4, this is a little bit different. We have here the absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to 7. So meron na po tayong absolute value. Alright, ano pong ibig sabihin ng absolute value? This is the distance of a value or a number from 0. No? So kaya po siya absolute value because we are just referring to the distance. And remember, absolute value is always positive. Okay, pero pag nagsusolve po tayo ng equation, meron po tayong dalawang cases dito. So the first case is if absolute value of a is equal to b, then magiging sagot niyan is a is equal to b. Okay, magiging positive yung positive yung absolute value. Okay? So here, let's assume that the value of a is positive. Okay, we have here x minus 3. Ang gagawin lang natin is we are going to use the property of equality para matanggal si negative 3 by just adding itself. Negative 3 plus 3 magiging 0 yan. So mag-add tayo ng 3 dito sa right side. So 7 plus 3, x will now be equal to 10 using the APE or the addition property of equality. Another case, however, is what if yung absolute value ni A is negative? Okay? Paano pag negative naman si B? Okay, dalawa po kasi yung case niyan. So A is equal to negative B. So we have here x minus 3 is equal to negative 7. Alright, so negative yung ating value. So negative 7 siya. Now, in order for you to remove negative 3 here, you will apply again addition property of equality. So magpa-plus 3 tayo dyan. In effect, magiging plus 3 din dito sa right side. So negative 7 plus 3, it will now be negative 4. Okay? So there are two possible answers. Okay? Yun po ang tatandaan natin kapag nagsusolve tayo ng equation, linear equation involving absolute value. Okay, for our last example, number 5, we have here the absolute value of 3x minus 4 is equal to 11. So, ganun pa rin po ang case dito. Dalawang cases pa rin. Case 1, we have A, absolute value of A is equal to B. Meaning, yung ating sagot ay positive. So, we have here 3x minus 4 is equal to 11. Okay, and then we are going to use addition property para matanggal si negative 4 dito at may lipat sa kabila. So, 11 plus 4, it will now be 15. Okay, and then we have here 3x is equal to 15. You can use the division property of equality to divide 3 by itself para maging 1 po yan. And then sa kabila naman, 15 divided by 3 is 5. So x is equal to 5. Now the other case is what if our answer is negative? Okay, so a is equal to negative b. This time we have the equation 3x is equal to negative 11 plus 4. Okay, so assuming that 11 here is negative, ililipat natin si negative 4 mapupunta sa kabila using addition property of equality. And then we have negative 11 plus 4 magiging negative 7. And then we can now divide 3x by 3. You can also divide negative 7 by 3. Therefore, x will now be equal to negative 7 over 3. Okay, magiging fraction po yung ating sagot. Okay, so those are the two cases or two answers for our equation involving absolute value. Okay, I hope naintindihan nyo po yung examples natin. Medyo madami po yung examples natin so that you will understand it more clearly. This time, we have here exercises for you to practice your understanding. You can do this on your own. Okay, and then you can just pause this video while you are doing it and then you can just play it later once you are done para po i-compare natin ang inyong mga sagot. Okay, so God bless po sa inyong pagsagot. Okay, I hope you are now done answering. Let's now show you the correct answer so you can check if you have it correctly. Okay, so let's have the answers. Ito, paki-check nyo na lang po kung tama po yung solution nyo. Okay, and if ever hindi, you can just go back to our previous examples para mas lalo nyo pong maintindihan. Okay, so there you go. I hope naintindihan nyo po yung ating mga discussions, our examples a while ago. If you want more practice, you can actually answer this activity. Okay, you can do this on your own, and then you can just check with your teachers the answers for these problems, especially if they are using our PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again on the next video. God bless po sa inyong lahat, and bye-bye for now. Kung meron kang natutunan sa video na ito, please click the subscribe button to support this channel para mas matulungan ulit kita sa mga susunod mo pang math lessons. Lagi mong tatandaan, ang math ay para sa lahat. At ako si Teacher Van, nagsasabing dito sa Math Isip, lamang ang nag-iisip. God bless and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.